I've been to the zoo. I said, I've been to the zoo. Mister, I've been to the zoo.
Sorry, what? Were you talking to me?
I've been to the zoo and then I walked all the way until I got here. All the way. Have I been walking north?
North, let me see. I believe so.
Is that Fifth Avenue over there?
Yes, it is.
And what's that cross street? That one. There, on the right.
That's 74th Street.
And the zoo is around 65th. So I have been walking north.
Yes, it would seem so.
Good old north. But not due north.
Well, no, not due north, but we call it north. It's northerly.
Oh boy, you're not going to give yourself lung cancer, are you?
No, sir, not from this.
No, sir. What you'll probably give yourself is cancer of the mouth. Then you have to wear one of those things that Floyd wore. What do you call them? When he took out half his jaw?
Prosthesis?
The very thing, a prosthesis. You're an educated man. Are you a doctor?
No, I read it somewhere. Time magazine, I think.
Well, Time magazine isn't for blockheads.
No, I suppose not.
Say, do you mind if we talk?
No, not really.
Yes, you do. You do.
No, I don't mind.
Yes, you do.
No, really, I don't.
It's a nice day.
Yes, it's lovely.
I've been to the zoo.
Yes, I think you said so, didn't you?
I bet you've got a TV, huh?
Yes, we have two.
You're married.
Well, certainly.
It's not the law, you know.
No, of course not.
And you got a wife.
Yes.
And you've got children.
Yes, two.
Boys.
No, girls. Both girls.
But you wanted boys.
Well, naturally every man wants a son, but...
But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
I wasn't going to say that.
And you're not going to have any more kids.
No more children. Wait, why did you say that? How did you know about that?
The way you cross your legs, perhaps, or something in your voice, or maybe I was just guessing. I don't know. Was it your wife?
That's none of your business. You understand? Well, you're right. There'll be no more children.
That is the way the cookie crumbles.
Yes, I suppose so.
And tell me, what else?
You were saying something about the zoo?
I'll tell you about that in a little while, but first, do you mind if I ask you questions?
No, not really.
I'll tell you why I do it. I don't get to talk to many people, except to say, like, give me a beer, or where's the John? What time does the feature go on? Or, get your hands off me, buddy. You know, that kind of thing.
I must say I don't.
But every once in a while, I like to talk to somebody. Really talk to them. Like, get to know somebody. Know all about it.
And, am I the guinea pig for today?
On a sun-drenched Sunday afternoon in the park like this, who better than a married man with 2 girls and a dog? No dog. 2 dogs! No dogs, that's a shame. You look like an animal, man. Cats! Cats! But that wasn't your idea, was it? The wife and daughters. Well, tell me, what else? What else should I know about you?
There are 2 parakeets. 1 for each of my daughters.
Boys!
My daughters keep them in a cage in their bedroom.
Do they carry disease? The birds?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that's a shame. Because if they did, you could let them loose in the house and the cats would eat them and die, maybe. Ooh. Well, tell me. What else? What else? What should I know about you? How do you support this enormous household?
I have an executive position with a small publishing house. We publish textbooks.
That's nice. That's very nice. And how much do you make?
Now look here.
Oh, come on.
I make about 200,000 a year, but I don't carry more than about $40 at a time, in case you're a hold-up man or something.
Where do you live? Oh, look, I'm not going to rob you or kidnap your parakeets or your cats or your daughters.
I live between Lexington and 3rd on 74th Street.
Yeah, that wasn't so hard, was it?
I'm sorry. It's just that you don't really carry on a conversation. You just ask questions, and I'm normally a bit reticent. Why do you just stand there?
I'll move around in a little while, and eventually I'll sit down. Wait till you see the expression on his face.
Whose face? Look here, is there something about the zoo?
The what?
The zoo, something about the zoo.
The zoo?
You mentioned it several times.
The zoo? The zoo? I've just come from the zoo. I told you that. Say, what's the dividing line between upper middle class and lower upper middle class?
My dear fellow.
Don't my dear fellow me.
Was I being patronizing? I believe I was. I'm sorry. It's just that your question about the classes, it bewildered me.
And when you're bewildered, you get patronizing.
I don't express myself well sometimes. I'm in publishing, not in writing.
So be it. The truth is that I was being patronizing.
You don't need to say that.
Say, who are your favorite writers? Baudelaire? Stephen King?
Well, I like a great many writers. I have considerable Catholicity of taste, if I may say so. Baudelaire, of course, is by far the writer of the two, but Stephen King has a place in our at national.
Skip it!
Sorry.
Say, do you want to know what I did before I went to the zoo? I walked all the way up Fifth Avenue from Washington Square, all the way.
Oh, you live in the village?
No, I don't. I took a subway to the village and then I walked all the way up Fifth Avenue to the zoo. It's something a person has to do sometimes. Sometimes a person has to go a long way out of their way in order to come back a short distance.
Oh, I thought you lived in the village.
What were you trying to do? Make sense of it all? Bring order? The old pigeonhole bit? Well, I'll tell you, it's easy. I live in a brownstone, 4-story rooming house on the west side of New York City, between Columbus Avenue and Central Park West. But I imagine you'd much rather hear what happened at the zoo.
Well, yes. That is, if you still have to tell me.
What's your name? Your first name?
I'm Peter.
I almost forgot to ask. I'm Jerry.
Hello, Jerry.
Well, let me tell you about the zoo. But first, let me tell you some things. I don't like to use words that are too harsh in describing people. But my landlady is a fat, ugly, mean, stupid, unwashed, misanthropic, cheap, drunken bag of garbage. And you may have noticed that I seldom use profanity. So I can't describe her quite as well as I might.
You described her vividly.
Well, thank you. Well, my landlady has a dog, and I will tell you about the dog. But she and the dog are the gatekeepers of my dwelling.
That's so unthinkable. I find it hard to believe that people such as that really are.
It's to read about, isn't it?
Yes.
And fact is better left to fiction. You're right, Peter. Well, what I've been meaning to tell you about is her dog. And I shall now.
Oh, yes, the dog.
Boy, come on, you're not thinking of leaving now, are you?
No, I don't think so.
Because after I tell you about the dog, do you know what then? Then I'll tell you what happened at the zoo.
You're full of stories, aren't you?
You don't have to listen. No one's forcing you to be here, you know. Remember that. Keep that in mind.
I know that.
You do? Good. Okay. The story of Jerry and the dog. What I'm about to tell you has something to do with why sometimes it's necessary to go a long distance out of your way in order to come back a short distance. Well, the dog, I think I told you, is a black monster of a beast, overgrown head and tiny, tiny ears and eyes, bloodshot, infected maybe, and a body you can see the ribs through the skin. The dog is black, all black except for his bloodshot eyes, and an open sore on his right forepaw. That's red too. And the poor dog, and I do believe it's an old dog, certainly a mistreated dog, almost always has an erection. Thought. That's red too. And what else? Oh yes, there's a grey, yellow, white colour when he bares his teeth like so. Which is what he did to me for the first time he saw my face. The day I moved in. From the very beginning, he would bare his teeth, snarl, and go for me to get one of my legs. Look, he got a piece of my trouser. Look, right here, where it's mended. But I kicked free and I got away, and he didn't get me. So I went upstairs, I lay on my bed, and I began to think. I decided I would kill the dog. With kindness. But if that didn't work, I'd just kill him. Don't react, Peter. Don't react. Just listen. So the next day, I went into town and I bought a bag full of hamburgers. I returned to the rooming house, opened the door to the entrance hall, and there he was, snarling, waiting for me. It figures. I went in very cautiously, stepped inside, and laid the hamburgers down on the floor about 12 feet from where the dog was snarling at me, like so. The dog snarled, stopped snarling, sniffed, then moved slowly, then faster, to the meat. When he got to the meat, he stopped and looked up at me. I smiled, but tentatively, you understand. The dog turned his face back to the meat, smelled, sniffed again, and then he tore into it. It was as if he'd never eaten in his life before except like garbage, which might very well be the truth. I don't think the landlady eats anything but garbage. Anyway, he ate all the hamburgers almost all at once, making sounds in his throat like a woman. And then, bam, he went for me. But I got upstairs as usual, and he didn't get me as usual. So, that night, I began to think. I lay on my bed, and I decided I would kill the dog. Don't be alarmed, Peter. I didn't succeed. The day I tried to kill the dog, I went out and bought just one hamburger, and what I thought was a monstrous portion of rat poison in the meat, and opened the door. I stepped in cautiously, and there the dog was, waiting for me, looking at me. I stepped in further, and he was just watching, waiting for me. Malevolence with an erection, just waiting. I put the poisoned patty down, moved to the stairs and watched. The animal gobbled the meat up as usual, looked up at me and smiled, which made me almost sick. And then, bam, he went for me again. But I sprinted up the stairs as usual, and he didn't get me as usual. Whew. Well, it came to pass that the dog was deathly ill. And anyway, and you've missed the $80,000 question, Peter. And anyway, the dog recovered its health. It was heart-shatteringly, etc., to confront my doggy friend again. I opened the door and advanced, unafraid, to the center of the entrance hall. There the beast was, looking at me, watching. I stepped up to him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and in that moment, we connected. We looked in each other's eyes, and we made contact. I think we stayed that way a long time, still, stone statue, just looking at each other. And in those 2 hours, or 20 seconds, that we stared in each other's eyes, we understood each other. I love the dog now. I wanted him to love me. I had tried to love and I tried to kill, and both had been unsuccessful. It's just that if you can't deal with people, have some way of dealing with something. If not with people, then something. With the door, with the bed, with the cockroach, with the mirror, with the carpet, with the roll of toilet paper. No, not that. You see how hard it is to think of things? With a street corner, with too many lights, with colors reflecting in the oily, wet streets, with the wisp of smoke, with the wisp of smoke, with love, with pornographic playing cards, with a strongbox, without a lock, with love, with God. With God, who is an idea, a concept. With God. With a dog. Just that. With a dog. It seemed like a perfectly sensible idea. Man is God's best friend, remember? And so the dog and I looked at each other. I have learned that neither kindness nor cruelty by themselves, independent of one another, have any effect beyond themselves. And the two of them combined together at the same time are the teaching emotion. And what is gained is loss. Was my trying to feed the dog an act of love? And was not the dog's attempt to bite me an act of love? If we can so misunderstand each other, why then, why have we invented the word love in the first place? Well, tell me, Jerry. Tell me, Peter. Tell me, Peter. What do you think? Do you think I could sell that story to Reader's Digest? The most unforgettable character I've ever made? Make $100 or so? Huh? Tell me, Jerry. What do you think? Come on.
I don't understand. Why did you tell me all of this?
Why not?
I don't understand.
That's a lie.
No, it's not.
I tried to explain it as I went along. I went slowly. It all has to do with...
I don't want to hear anymore. I don't understand. I don't understand you or your landlady or her dog.
Her dog? I thought it was mine. No. No, you're right. It was her dog. I don't know what I was thinking. Of course, you don't understand me. I don't live on your block, and I'm not married to two parakeets or whatever your arrangement is. I am a permanent transient, and my home is the sickening rooming houses on the west side of New York, which is the greatest city in the world. Amen.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get into such a huff about this.
Forget it. You probably don't know what to make of me, huh?
We get all kinds in publishing.
You're a very funny man. You know that? You're a richly comic person.
No, not really.
Peter, do I annoy you? Or confuse you?
Well, to be honest, this wasn't quite the afternoon I'd anticipated.
You mean I'm not the gentleman you were expecting?
I wasn't expecting anybody.
No, I don't imagine you were, but I'm here and I'm not leaving.
Well, you may be staying, but I have to be going now.
Oh, come on, don't go now, Peter. Don't go now, stay.
I need to get going.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Oh, no, stop, Jerry, stop.
Come on.
I have to get going. The parakeets will be making dinner. The cats will be setting the table.
Peter. Listen now.
What is it, Jerry?
Do you want to know what happened at the zoo?
The what? The zoo? I had my own zoo for a moment there. The cat's setting the table.
That's very funny, Peter. I wouldn't have expected it. But do you want to know what happened at the zoo or not?
Yes, by all means, please tell me that. Oh, I don't know what happened to me.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened at the zoo. But first, I should tell you why I went to the zoo. I went to the zoo to find out about how people exist with animals, and how animals exist with other animals, and with people too. But It wasn't a fair test. What with everyone separated by bars from everyone else, the animals for the most part from each other, and always the people from the animals. But if it's a zoo, there you go, what can you expect? Move over.
I'm sorry, haven't you enough room there?
And all the animals are there. And all the people are there. And it's a Sunday afternoon, and all the children are there. Move over.
All right.
And it's hot. And all the stench is there. And all the balloon sellers are there, and all the ice cream sellers are there, and the seals are barking, and the birds are screeching. Move over!
Look here, you have more than enough room.
And I'm there. And it's feeding time at the lion house. And the lion keeper comes into the lion cages, to one of the lion cages, to feed one of the lions. Move over!
I can't move over anymore, and stop hitting me. What's the matter with you?
Do you want to hear the rest of the story?
I'm not so sure. I certainly don't want to be punched.
Like that?
Stop it. What's the matter with you?
I'm crazy, you bastard!
That's not funny.
Listen, Peter. I want this bench. You go and sit on that bench over there, and if you're good, I'll tell you the rest of the story.
But whatever for? What is the matter with you?
Peter, I want this bench. I'm gonna have it. You get over there.
People can't have everything they want. You should know that. It's a rule. People can have some of the things they want, but they can't have everything they want.
Imbecile. You're slow-witted.
Stop that.
You're a vegetable. Go and lie on the ground over there.
God damn it, that's enough. Get out of here. I've had enough of you. Go on, get out of here. If you don't get away from here, you're a bum, that's what you are. Oh. If you don't go away, I'll call a policeman and make you go away.
You won't find a policeman on this side of the park. They're all over on the west side, chasing fairies down from trees or out of bushes. That's what they do. That's all they're good for. That's all they're good for. That's their function. Scream all you want. You won't get any help.
Please! I warned you, I'll have you arrested. Police! I said police! Oh, I feel ridiculous.
You look ridiculous. A grown man screaming for the police on a bright Sunday afternoon in the park with no one harming you. If a policeman did find his way to this side of the park, he'd probably take you in as a nut.
Thank God, man, I just came here to read. And now you want me to give up my bench? You're mad. I want you off. I want you off this bench. I want this bench to myself.
Why? You have everything you need. You've told me about your home and your family and your own little zoo. And now you want this bench. Is this what you were to fight for? Is this bench, tell me, Peter, is this bench, this iron, this steel, is this your honor? Are these the things in the world you'd fight for? Stupid. Can you think of anything more absurd?
Absurd? I'm not going to talk to you about honor or even try to explain it to you. Besides, this isn't a question of honor. And even if it was, you wouldn't understand it.
You don't even know what you're saying, do you? This is probably the first time in your life you've had anything more trying to face than changing your cat's toilet box. Don't you have any idea? Not even the slightest what other people need?
Oh, listen to you. Well, you certainly don't need this bench, that's for sure.
Yes, I do.
I've been coming here for years. I've had hours of great satisfaction, great pleasure right here. And that's important to a man. I'm a responsible person and I'm a grown-up. This is my bench and you have no right to take it away from me.
Fight for it then. Defend yourself. Defend your bench.
You pushed me to it. Get up and fight.
Like a man.
Yes, like a man, if you insist on mocking me even further.
I have to give you credit for one thing. You are a vegetable and a slightly nearsighted one.
That's enough. Stop it.
Okay. Okay. We'll battle for the bench. But it isn't a fair fight.
You are mad. You're stark raving mad. You're gonna kill me.
There you go. Pick up the knife. Take the knife. Now we'll be more evenly matched.
No!
Pick up the knife and fight me. Fight for your self-respect. Fight for the goddamn bench.
No! No!
You fight for the bench, you miserable bastard. You fight for your wife. Fight for your parakeet. Fight for your daughters. Fight for your cat. Fight for your wife. Fight for your manhood. You miserable, pathetic little vegetable. You couldn't even give your wife a male child.
It's a matter of genetics, not manhood, you monster. I'll give you one man's chance. Get out of here and leave me alone!
So be it.
Oh my God. Oh my. Somebody! Somebody!
Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Oh my God.
I mean it.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Peter.
Oh
I came unto you,
my God. Oh,
and you gave me comfort.
help, buddy, help me.
But Peter, you better go now. You better go. Go now. Somebody might come. Somebody might come. You don't want to be here when they come. Go. Hurry. But Peter, I'll tell you now. I'll tell you.
Oh,
You're not really a vegetable.
oh my God. Buddy.
It's all right. It's all right. You're an animal. You're an animal too. But you better go now, Peter. Hurry, go, see? Go see. Hey, wait. Peter, wait. Your book, take your book right here. Beside me on the bench. On your bench. No, on my bench. Take it. Take the bench. Take the book. Quickly, go now. That's good. That's good. Run, hurry, Peter. Your parakeets are... My God. Nobody needs a bench in the next scene.